Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just past 6 a.m. on Tuesday, March 5th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. You know, when we talk about the clouds acting like a blanket, we were at what, 55, we dropped to 54, we went up to 56, and now we're at 52, and you can see the clouds here off in the distance. Take the banner off. There's the moon. Yeah, got some nice breaks in the clouds, allowing for the moon to be able to shine down upon us. And temperature-wise across the region, first with our weather headlines, well, all good things must come to an end, right? Beautiful the last couple of days. We're going to look for a scattered shower pattern to develop as we head through this afternoon, a widespread rain pattern heading through tonight. Minus a few of us here in the 40s. We're in the 50s and lower 60s as of last check. All right, here are the clouds continuing to stream in from the west and southwest. Some showers and some bursts of rain out toward the Mississippi Valley, Nashville, southbound toward Huntsville. And that's what's going to be headed this way for this afternoon. Before then, partial sunshine that will allow us to warm up to 74 for a high in Hazard. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. A mission rooted in Leslie County is continuing to grow from a second campus planted in Floyd County. WYMT's Buddy Forbes dropped by Big Creek Mission as organizers kicked off its first outreach of 2024.
From Mobile, Alabama to the mountains of Appalachia, Bubba and Tammy Robertson have dedicated their careers to community care.
People are the same no matter where you are.
Yeah.
They face the same struggles and hurts. I think here in Floyd County it's hard because there's not a lot of industry. There's not a lot of places for people to get good jobs.
That mission to make a difference led them to Big Creek Missions, which has campuses in Leslie and Floyd counties to support those who are underserved.
But there's always a need. Like even when we think that we have met a need, there's always someone else that needs help. Which is a good thing for us because, you know, this is our job and our ministry, and what we love to do is help people. I need 6 to go.
Which is why the couple was excited to see the season of service begin Monday, kicking off the organization's outreach opportunities at the Wheelwright campus.
Every Monday we do free lunch, we do free coffee, free lemonade, free tea, and then typically we have items that we collect that we just give out. Today happens to be clothing. It may be food one week, it may be toiletries one week, it just depends on what we have.
The Robertsons say it is about more than giving out clothes and cookies. It is about bringing in the community.
Got a lot of cheese here. I don't know what size.
The community is everything, and if people can come around and we can all do it together and be one, be a community, that's one of the biggest things that we can do.
With support pouring in from the outside.
The church groups that partner alongside of us, they're every reason why we can do what we do. I guess you would say they're our largest resource, just our people that come here and serve. And
the mission hopes to strengthen the region from the inside.
We could be a resource to just if the people around, a resource to the schools, a resource to the community, that they know that we're here and that we're here for them.
With a big community movement at Big Creek Missions. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
You can follow the mission on Facebook to get updates on its weekly giveaways. Organizers say free meals will be available every Monday until the end of the sharing season in November. An emotional day in Boyle County yesterday as leaders in Danville came together to honor the memory of the lives lost to COVID-19. The service was held at Constitution Square Park. It included a tree planting ceremony and dedication to those lives lost. The service was especially meaningful to those who had lost several loved ones to the virus.
The next thing you know, I called my mother and she said she wasn't feeling too good. So on December the 10th, which was her birthday, 2020, she come up to the hospital, diagnosed with COVID. It was just devastating. 2 deaths like that, because I was still recuperating from COVID too.
In addition to the loss of lives, people say COVID-19 led to drastic changes in education, healthcare, and productivity. This Wednesday, March 6th, marks 4 years since the first COVID case was reported in Kentucky. Investigators say a patient was killed in an ambulance crash over the weekend. It happened on the Mountain Parkway. The Clark County coroner says 66-year-old Deborah Akers of Elkhorn City was a patient in the ambulance when it hit a guardrail and flipped. The ambulance driver was not seriously hurt, but another EMT remains in critical condition. Floyd Miracle, Assistant Chief of EMS in Jessamine County, says mistakes can have consequences. While many EMS agencies work around the clock, Jessamine County has made the switch to 12-hour shifts.
24-hour shifts are very long, especially if you're working for an EMS agency that is busy. The busier you are, the lower the chances that you'll actually be able to get any rest whatsoever during that 24-hour period.
It is a change Miracle says would not have been possible without the county's support. Jessamine County Judge Executive David West says it is an investment that's paid off. In Calhoun County, West Virginia, state police responded to a school bus crash yesterday. 3 of the students left with serious injuries, including a leg injury, a broken vertebrae, and a head injury. Officials say the driver, Jeffrey Brannon, was under the influence at the time of the incident. Brannon is facing charges of DUI, causing injury, and child neglect. This comes after West Virginia State Police say his blood alcohol level was 0.127.
It's almost a sheer panic at that point. You got children involved in a serious crash like this. You're always thinking the worst before you get here. So even when we got here, it was pretty bad. So law enforcement, EMS, and fire from all over the region came to assist in this.
The extent of the other injuries are not clear at this time. Brannon is due back in court on March 14th at 2:30 p.m. And I'm sure many of you remember this harrowing video. Louisville police are still investigating the crash that led to this terrifying rescue on the Clark Memorial Bridge Friday. Traffic is moving again, and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says the damage did not impact the bridge's structural integrity. Both sides of the bridge's walking paths remain closed until repairs are finished. Witnesses say the truck driver was not at fault.
This pickup in front of me, we're both passing a semi to our left, and we're in the right-hand lane going south, and he gets right up on the car in front of us, and then he whips it over in front of this semi, and then he passes the Mustang that was in front of us, and by the time he passes him, the traffic was stopped in front of us, and he smashed right into them people.
So far, police have not issued any citations in the crash. As we have seen during the last 19 months after the flood, one of the most vital parts of rebuilding has been the volunteers, folks who have donated their time to help make a difference. And yesterday I talked to a group of students who made their way to Perry County to do just that. A couple hundred Boston College students are scattered across Appalachia this week. And some are working with the Housing Development Alliance, hoping to make a difference in the lives of flood survivors.
But everyone's been so vulnerable and in sharing those stories, and kind of it adds a whole new layer of meaning to what we're doing and why we're building these houses.
The group spent the day at Blue Sky Subdivision in Perry County alongside a finishing crew. HDA's Mindy Miller says seeing groups like this is a necessity as we continue to rebuild.
It's still fresh in all of our minds, but when we get a lot of these volunteers who come in, some of them don't even know that we had a flood. So we're having to educate them about that, and then they realize the importance of the work that they're doing.
And as volunteer and student JT Mungin and Griner both explain, they are not only making new friendships, but also walking away with a new perspective.
A very introspective experience that allows you to kind of reflect on where other people are in the world and how you can come to meet them there.
It adds a whole new layer of meaning to what we're doing and why we're building these houses, and just how we can come together with this community and understand what they've gone through, and just support them and help in any way we can.
Making a difference on their spring break while getting a glimpse of the resilience here in the mountains. Since the July 2022 flood, the Housing Development Alliance staff has helped more than 90 families with plans to build many more homes in the multiple counties it serves.
And a good Tuesday to you. Temperature-wise, not too bad this morning. Some of us, again, in the mid-40s. Otherwise, a lot of us are in the 50s, some lower 60s as you make your way back toward Wayne. Check that. Wayne and Pulaski counties. Hey, it's still early. And after the number of basketball games I've done the last couple of weeks, lucky one, I still have my voice, and two, outside for 3. But hey, it's March Madness, right? Between high school stuff and then, well, UK is going to be taking off here shortly. Here come the clouds tracking in from the southwest over the last couple of hours. We got some scattered showers and some bursts of rain out to the west, some moisture trying to track up from central Tennessee, and eventually it'll get here. It's going to take its sweet old-fashioned time, and it'll be coming in on a scattered pattern for the afternoon. Until then, I think we get some partial sunshine out of the deal. That will allow us to warm up to 74 for an afternoon high in Hazard. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast just coming up in a few moments. Olivia?
Thank you, Tim, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Still ahead, we'll take a look at how the flying experience has and continues to change since the COVID-19 pandemic.